Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute potpourri of brand news, branding focus, and industry conversations, all in a mix, encompassing thorough, in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Ogale Mafuru.
It's insightful, it's exciting, it's enriching. It's Marketing Edge on TV, a half-hour TV show on the business of brand management and the management of brand business. Marketing Edge on TV is a potpourri of juicy and exclusive industry news on brands, advertising, media, PR, branding focus, industry conversation, and the entire gamut of integrated marketing communications business. It's a business show with glamour and grandeur. We serve you hot and sizzling with all ingredients in the mix. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand ideal.
Good to have you back. First off, Brand News will bring you insights into the latest happenings and developments in brands management in the field of advertising and communications in Nigeria and around the world.
As part of efforts to demonstrate its innovation and storytelling and strengthen the connection with its teeming subscribers, Airtel, a leading telco in Nigeria, has unveiled a new and exciting TV commercial tagged The Rainmaker. The new TVC, which featured veteran actors Jide Kosoko, Jude Chukwuka, and many others, is based on the African mythology, which ascribed esoteric powers of halting and making rain to fall to certain individuals in African communities. According to the commercial, the powers of such individuals, tagged Rainmakers, often fail to deliver on their promises during critical situations. The TVC used storytelling to depict the brand promise of the leading telco to deliver reliable data that works. The new commercial tells a compelling African story with a rich heritage of Nigerian culture across different parts of the country. Foremost Nigerian telecoms brand Globacom has unveiled a self-care channel called Glow Cafe and other to make its rich bouquet of services easily accessible to subscribers. With the newly launched app, all Glow services have been brought together under one umbrella, making subscribers have a convenient self-service channel to manage their account. Globacom described Glow Cafe as a full 360-degree solution which empowers all subscribers on the Glow network to manage their mobile accounts with convenience and ease, explaining that Glow Cafe was developed following broad research into customers' needs and that the study revealed a need for a time-efficient yet simple and easy one-stop platform offering customer support. Nigeria's leading independent broadcasting company, owners of TVC News, Max FM Lagos, and Abuja and Adaba FM, TVC Communication, announced officially that its radio station 102.3 Max FM Lagos has exceeded 2 million listeners per day. According to the latest official AMPS radio rating for March 2021, it was revealed that 102.3 Max FM Lagos increased daily listenership in March versus April by 150,000 to 2,045,342 per day, with a market share of 22%, while the first quarter of 2020 versus first quarter of 2021 shows listeners grew by 997,000 listeners. Commenting on this, TVC Communications Chief Executive Officer Andrew Alon said in less than 4 years on air, Max FM Lagos has performed beyond our expectations with significant year-on-year growth, now ranking as the fifth largest station of 40 in the commercial capital, adding the consistency of programming quality and a highly motivated team of employees is helping to make Max FM a great radio brand which delivers big audiences for national brands and advertisers. Customer-friendly telecommunication company 9Mobile has announced the resumption of subscriber identity model SIM card activation at its experience centers across Nigeria, thus becoming the first Nigerian network provider to commence activation after the ban on registration of new SIM card was lifted by the federal government. Commenting on the company's decision to start SIM activation immediately and ahead of other operators, the Chief Commercial Officer, Nine Mobile Japan, Jofik, said it was because it remained committed to the welfare of customers. Recall that the federal government, through the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, banned SIM cards activation in December 2020. The federal government has inaugurated the digital switchover and the launch of set-top boxes in Lagos with 30 free-to-air stations as part of its long-anticipated digital switchover program. According to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, the set-top boxes does not require monthly subscriptions except for an annual access fee of 1,500 naira for Nigerians who cannot afford the rising subscription of pay TV companies in Nigeria, while reiterating that the digital switchover will see the country move from analog to digital broadcasting, which has the capacity to facilitate video on demand, audience measurement, and a better viewing experience. He assured that millions of jobs will be created by the initiative.
Well, that was brand news on Marketing Edge on TV. I'm sure you're already itching to see the latest LTS commercial tagged Rainmaker, as I'm also raising operator as well. Well, brand new forecast comes after this break.
Here today, gone tomorrow. 'Cause you're volatile like the water. And you promise what you don't know. Sometimes it's right and then it's so wrong. Them go do like say them wise. Go promise you the world. My brother all now worship. Up all on no be open eye. I see no feel water. Khaki no be letter.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
I funny sha. Don't find easy for me. You know what other thing when it dey easy for me? Linking my NIN with my glow lines by dialing *109 *NIN hash. Or I fit call 109 with my glow line and follow instruction. If calling no suit me, I fit text my NIN to 109. Or I fit visit glowworld.com/NIN. But if you don't forget your NIN, you fit just dial *346#. You get am back. What if I never register NIN? Just waka enter any Glow World and get registered. Very easy something. Don't let them disconnect you from all the amazing voice and data offer where they Glow. Linking your NIN dey simple. It dey fast and it dey 100% free with no wahala.
Imagine being stopped at the entrance of your local shopping mall and asked to identify yourself before getting in. After letting you in, imagine being scrutinized by a security guard who takes note on what you're doing or being recorded by a hidden camera as you walk around. Data gathering cookies are not so obvious, but is essentially what they do once they get inside your computer. In the age of information superhighway, brands use various techniques to gather information and then combine it with additional information to profile the users for behavioral targeting. Cookies play a discrete but indispensable role in facilitating targeted advertising in social media. Without them, profiles could not be created, accessed, or maintained. And without the user's profile, there is no customer data. And without the data, there is no targeted marketing. This explains why Facebook has built one of the biggest advertising empires in history. However, 2021 appears to be a check-up year for marketers in the areas of attribution, measurement, frequency capping and suppression, insight segmentation, activation, and retargeting. From the fallout of the Cambridge Analytical data controversy to Apple's iOS 14 update, Brands have been in the midst of an industry-wide crackdown on third-party data practices that were once taken for granted by advertisers. Google had said early last year that it would phase out the number of third-party advertising cookies on websites through its Chrome browser by 2022. Earlier on, third-party cookies had also been banned by Apple, Microsoft, and Mozilla. Meanwhile, websites will still be able to use their own first-party cookies to track users. How should brand managers and advertisers prepare for a future without or with severe limitations on cookie tracking? Third-party cookies might be going away. Third-party data is not. Brand owners and marketers may have to find other ways to access information, e.g. through membership cards, loyalty programs, email subscribers, social media insights, and more.
Well, that was Branding Forecast. Next is Industry Conversations, where we have one-on-one interactions with big players in the industry who have made tremendous impact in the field of communication, advertising, and marketing, all in the bid to promoting brands. Well, we will be speaking with the COO of SONU and our marketing communication experts, Adefila. She'll be speaking to us about COVID-19 and how our company navigated the challenges occasioned by the pandemic and how the company hopes to harness the potentials in digital marketing, leveraging on technology. She'll be speaking about these things and many other things on Industry Conversations.
Ajaye go gym. You won't go shake your body. Instead they make it calm down. Eat the farm say sabi. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh. Ajaye. Bekele, arubo check bekele. Who go service the matter?
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Here today, gone tomorrow. 'Cause you're volatile like the water. And you promise what you don't know. Sometimes it's right and then it's so wrong. Them go do like say them why. We promise you the world. My brother all now was yeah. Up all on no be open eye. I see no be water. Can't no be letter.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Can you see me now? We just having a good time, and I'm feeling so good tonight.
I dey come now, you go see me now. You go.
Call your party and everybody, yeah. Make we start to the corner.
You go see me now.
Everybody they dance.
Where you dey now? Oh, you go see me now.
Even
I'm fine, sir. Even me, I surprised.
Hey, where you at? Go Mexico, even Jericho. I don't go let you go.
Hello, how are you?
Tell us one truth nobody knows.
I like to steam it from my mama pot.
Glow, the best data plans in town. Dial *777#.
Hello there and welcome to Industry Conversation on Marketing Edge on TV, where we have interactive session with top management leadership who have proven records in effective use of marketing, communication and advertising in brand management. Today we are speaking with Biodun Adefila. So pleased to have you with us on Industry Conversation.
Thank you very much.
Well, Biodun Adefila is one of the Amazons that are giving the marketing communications industry a total new coloration. She is one of those that have signaled the arrival of women in an industry where men held sway until recently. She is the Chief Operating Officer of SO&U, one of the leading marketing communications firms in Nigeria. So pleased to have you again, Mom, on Industry Conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we know that COVID-19 has wreaked a devastating blow on the nation's economy, and in fact, businesses are still trying to recover from the impact of COVID-19. In your own words, how would you assess the Nigerian economic outlook now at the second quarter of 2021? We know that we had recession. Nigeria experienced its worst recession in 4 decades in 2020, attributed to the falling prices of crude oil and, of course, COVID-19 pandemic. Right. The finance minister, projected that the country will exit recession in the first quarter of 2021. And as a matter of fact, we recorded a growth of 0.11 in the first quarter of 2021. So with all of this bearing in mind, how would you assess Nigerians' economic outlook for this second quarter of 2021?
Okay, thank you for that question. That's very interesting, actually. So I like to look at it from the point of view of an optimist. I'm generally an optimist. I always see the glass as half full. So the way I look at it, I'm looking at the fact that the IMF projected that there will be global economic recovery to the tune of 5.5%. You mentioned something about the increase of fuel price, barrel of...
Yeah, the dwindling prices of crude oil in the international market.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. So point I was making, this time last year, the price was $43 per barrel. Year to date, in March, that was when that was taken, that according to ProShare was $6.1 per barrel. Now what that says is that the federal government has a budget that they can work with, because 60% of their budget revenue comes from oil. And so the implication is that there is more for them to work with. And also it then means that there will be positive impact on commerce. Okay. So what that also then means is that we need to find a way to take advantage of the opportunity that this environment is creating. The projection, like I said, from IMF and the ProShare figure of how oil price is increasing. Now what we need to do is ensure that in terms of policies and in terms of structures, both at the governmental and institutional levels, we need to be to ensure that we are taking a good advantage of what these things provide. And that means we are not just spending on the things that are unnecessary. Having said that, though, I believe also that there's an air of positivity around the country. Everybody wants to get up and go and do something, even though they will still observe the COVID-19 protocols and all of that, but everybody is ready to go out and, start life again, as it were.
Okay, so what would you say are the positive signals in the economy that enterprises and entrepreneurs should begin to look out for as opportunities?
Yeah, so there are 3 things. I'll mention 3 things. Number 1, strong employment rate, employment numbers, that is. Secondly, stable inflation. And thirdly, high retail sales. Now, I know that all the headlines that I mentioned, if we are looking officially at the books in Nigeria, they are probably not ringing the right bells. But here's what I think. There's something we call the entrepreneurial economy. And that means that people can one-on-one trade with themselves through the power of technology. And that's what's happening everywhere. You agree with me that Instagram and WhatsApp probably employ more people than the government is doing right now. And the fact is, nobody is waiting for anybody to come and employ them. Everyone is finding their own paths. So that is one. So in terms of employment, people are being employed, they are employing themselves. So the books are saying something, but in reality, I believe that there is high employment rate, even if it's not the government that is employing people. Secondly, I talked about the high retail sales. Production is going on. You can find all sorts of things online. Okay. So there's commercial activities going on. And when commercial activities are going on, it affects inflation also. Now, the economists, they say that stable inflation should be at between 2 and 3%. What we have right now is 17.5. In fact, I heard it's gone to
It's about 18.17%.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. When there is commercialization or commercial activities going on, gradually these things will begin to correct themselves, and that's where I would like to look at it. Okay. So in terms of entrepreneurship and enterprises, it's about looking out for opportunities. What do people need? Observe, take note, find the solution, and you hit it, whether as an enterprise or as an entrepreneur.
Okay. While you rightly stated that inflation rate is at 18.17% and that the only way out is through production, massive production, but there's another part of it. There are some negative indicators for growth and development that big players like you and others can begin to look at as pitfalls to avoid. What are they?
Okay, so if we are looking at the opposite, we could very well look at the first three items I listed, but now add to that there is high level of insecurity, there is policy instability, and then there is inadequate infrastructure. As we speak, the issue of Boko Haram is still there. There is Fulani headsmen now. These are all things that hinder growth, and we believe that if we can tackle these things, then the environment will be more conducive for production and productivity.
Yeah, you've mentioned a lot about the signals that we should look at, positive and on the negative side as well. But can you give us your own assessment of the Nigeria integrated marketing and communications industry in all of this?
Okay, so I believe really that there's a huge, immense opportunity for the marketing communications industry. And I'll say this because our population, if you look at our population, there are over 200 million of us, and 70% of that population is in the youth segment. These are people who are digital natives, right? And they engage digitally with brands. So for me, that's a huge opportunity for marketing communications professionals to take advantage of and be able to provide the kind of engagement that this youth, this large segment can hang on to. Secondly, we talk a lot about content, and for me, it's an area that holds huge opportunities for the marketing communications industry. We talk about media fragmentation. The point is that there is no particular media or channel, a single one, that can produce or provide enough content for this large population to consume. So that is why it's an opportunity for the marketing communications industry, because you can create content and you have different platforms that you can put them on, ranging from films, out of home, the out of home, the LED, the way those things are done these days is not just static. They place it in a way that makes you engage with it, and that helps the marketing communications industry. And finally, I would like to talk about the attraction economy. Okay, so I'll give an example. Before, we used to call it the attention economy, and everybody is just noise everywhere trying to get your attention. But now it is about attraction. And attraction is about involvement. How involved are your people? How involved is your target audience when they engage with you? And now, before we used to have the number of screens to one person. So for instance, in the attention economy, you add one to many. And one to many means there's an NTA somewhere supplying all of you, 30 million people with content. But here, you have one to many. That's the attraction economy. Now one person has access to about 5 screens. What would he be looking at? Content. So you see, we have a wide array of opportunities to engage with people. And so for me, that creates an air of positivity that things are okay and will be okay. We only just need to observe.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Are there any envisaged challenges in the sector that you can tell us about? I mean, the IMC sector. Any challenges you think might be confronting the sector?
Okay, so number one is adapting to the new normal.
Okay.
So now even before the lockdown, it was obvious that clients were beginning to lean towards digital, right? And the point is that, like I said, if 70% of their target audience are in this kind of space, that is where they would go. So, but from the engagements we've had as an industry, we've discussed at length, and I believe that most of my colleagues, if not all of them, have taken steps to adapt or to transform their structure, because the fact is that if you are sitting waiting for traditional media to survive, that may not happen, because the media keeps shrinking every day. So it's not somewhere you can sit and hope that that things will continue to work out in that manner. Secondly is government policy. And I'll give an example. You know, recently the Minister of Information said that for any advertiser who films outside the country, they will pay a fine of 100,000 naira each time they broadcast that commercial. Now, the intention is okay, you know, noble, because it's really about capacity building for the local market, but the approach wasn't okay. So those kind of things would hinder the growth of the industry and be a challenge. Although we are discussing with the minister along with APCON in order to resolve that policy.
Industry conversation will continue after this break. Do stay with us.
Well, we'll be speaking to the COO of SONU, or Marketing Communication Expert, Adefila. She has been speaking to us about how a company has navigated through the challenges occasioned by COVID-19. Well, more conversations with her will continue next week, same time. Join us again. I'm Ogalema Furu.